Here's how you can get hired straight out of university whilst your classmates are still job hunting. Listen, university is not just about passing exams and getting a piece of paper called a degree. If you actually want to get hired when you graduate, you need to be strategic. First thing, build your network like your life depends on it. Connect with your classmates, join tech societies, sign up for clubs, and attend meetups. The person you meet there could be your future business partner or the one that refers you to your dream job in future. But don't stop there. Get involved with real companies whilst you're studying. Volunteer for projects, do internships and freelance work. Anything that gets you real experience. Employers want to see that you can actually solve problems, not just memorize textbook theories. And here's the game changer. Learn how to communicate properly. You can be the best programmer in the world, but if you can't explain your ideas or work with a team, you are not getting hired. So while everyone around you is cramming exams, you're busy building relationships and getting real experience. That's what will separate you from all the other thousands of people that are looking for the same job.
You studied hard, passed your exams, graduated with honors. Yet, years later, you're still job hunting. Does that sound familiar? Across Africa, millions of university graduates face the exact struggle. Educated, ambitious, but unemployed. In today's video, we'll break down why so many African graduates can't find jobs despite their qualifications. And these are extremely good qualifications. What's really behind this crisis? And what can be done about it? If you care about the future of Africa's youth, please hit the like button, subscribe, and let's unpack the truth.
Nothing prepared me for the pain and uncertainty I am feeling right now. Having to wake up every day and go to a call center, knowing fully well that had it not been for the high unemployment rate in South Africa, I would have been a candidate attorney. I have been so unlucky with getting articles ever since last year, to a point where I just decided to go to a call center. And I am not the first LLB graduate to go to a call center. I know a lot of people that have done that. And to be quite honest, guys, and this is basically just transparency for those that are starting out. This is not by any way trying to scare you guys, but there is this other side of LLB where most of us don't, get to be part of the big 5 law firms, and we're basically here.
So yeah, welcome to the Diary of an Unemployed. This is the collective program. So I'm 25 and I graduated in 2024 and in 2023, and I'm still that has been a very challenging time for me because I didn't expect it to last this long. I'm literally surrounded by people that fresh out of uni got but I also know that, we don't have the same experience, so don't have to work. So I'm aware of that, but also kind of
So the numbers don't lie. Let's start with some facts. According to the African Development Bank, Africa's youth unemployment rate is over 30% in many countries, and that number is rising in nations like South Africa, Nigeria, and Zimbabwe. Graduates make up a large section of the unemployed population. But here's the paradox. Africa is home to the world's youngest and fastest growing population, with millions of new graduates entering the job market each year, and very few opportunities waiting for them. So how can a continent with so much potential also have so much unemployment among the educated? Let's find out.
Ask yourself why these kids are going to university when after university actually they are graduating to be unemployed. Actually it is nonsensical from where I'm sitting. Even during the apartheid, during the apartheid, immediately after school, you are working. Someone is looking for you. But currently
there's nothing.
That is the system that I think we need to change and allow our own people to come with creativity.
And our people, especially the youth, you must never say that you have been to school and there are no jobs, therefore education is useless. No, you are not getting education because you want to be a teacher or an engineer or anything of that sort. You are just expanding your knowledge and your understanding. Through those qualifications, you can outmaneuver every situation, even if there may not be jobs in your field, but an educated person will always rise above.
One major problem is the mismatch between education and employability. African universities often focus heavily on theory rather than practical skills. They definitely don't focus on networking and collaborations. Students graduate knowing concepts, but don't know how to apply them in the real-world work environments. Employers say they struggle to find candidates with critical skills like critical thinking, communication, technical and digital skills. As a result, companies end up hiring based on what they can do, not what their certificates say. And many graduates simply aren't prepared for the demands of the modern job market.
And so many people have degrees, it drives the value of the degrees down, and that makes degrees less impactful.
That is a lie. More people having degrees does not make degrees worthless. You are making an assumption that demand for those degrees will stay the same or somehow decrease. But here's the thing, demand isn't static. The economy grows, the population grows, and guess what? We need more people with degrees to keep up with that growth. The value of a degree isn't about how rare it is, it's about how much demand it has. Let's take nursing for example. Right now, there are about 271,000 registered nurses in South Africa, but only around 3,500 nursing students graduate each year. That's less than 2% increase in supply. Meanwhile, the population has grown by more than 12% since 2015. So tell me how having more nurses makes the degree worth less. If anything, we're not graduating enough nurses to keep up with the demand. In the last 10 years alone, the number of registered nurses has only gone up by 4%. For a nursing degree to actually lose its value, we'd need more than triple the amount of new nurses graduating each year. And that's not happening. If you look at the stats released by the Department of Higher Education, less than 10% of South Africans have a university degree. And of those who do, the unemployment rate is less than 10%. So, the vast majority of degree holders are employed. The 30% unemployment rate you keep hearing about on the news, that mostly affects people without degrees, those whose highest qualification is a matric certificate. But here's the part that really irritates me, discouraging people from pursuing formal education. Like, what kind of advice is that? Hey, don't go to school because I know 10 people who are sitting at home with their degrees. Cool story, but that's not the reality for everyone. In fact, it's harmful advice. Formal education matters, and telling people not to pursue that is just irresponsible. So let's stop this nonsense. More people having degrees doesn't make degrees worthless. Go to school, get that degree, because the reality is we need more educated people in the workforce. Just make sure you're choosing a field that will grow in demand as the economy grows.
Then we have corruption and nepotism. It's another harsh reality. It's not always what you know, rather, it's who you know. Many African graduates face a system plagued by corruption and nepotism, where hiring often depends on connections, tribal networks, or even bribes rather than merit. Qualified applicants are overlooked for less competent candidates with the right political or family ties. This doesn't just discourage hardworking graduates, it destroys trust in the system and forces many to seek opportunities abroad.
The reviews of this performance are not good.
Horrible performance.
Horrible.
It's so bad.
This is just, nepotism at its absolute worst. Kanye and Kim Kardashian's kid wants to sing. She gets the headline spot. She's doing The Lion King. And again, we're not coming down on a 10-year-old kid. If this was Kanye's home video of West at her high school show or whatever, her middle school show, then, oh, that's so cute. But she's on stage with professional performers, with a full orchestra. They have sold tickets. So they're trying to make money off her voice. That's where I have an issue.
So there's another thing that says to the youth, you can do everything right and still be denied simply because you were born outside of the circle. Nepotism. A 2019 African Development Bank report actually highlighted that informal hiring networks, including nepotism and tribal favoritism, are amongst the top barriers to unemployment across the continent, especially for first-generation graduates with
Lastly, there's outdated curriculums and lack of innovation. Many African universities are still teaching 20th century curriculums in the 21st century world. Courses rarely adapt to new industries like AI, renewable energy, e-commerce, or software development. Without innovation in education, we'll end up producing graduates for jobs that no longer exist, while emerging industries remain understaffed.
You don't go to school to study so that you can write a CV. You go to school to study so that you can solve the problems in the community. Here is the model. Before you go to school, identify the problem in the community. Then go to school. Study the problem. Look for possible solution. Have a proposal and a business plan of how to solve this problem. When you graduate, go back into the community and solve that problem. And while you are solving problems, you've created a business and you can charge a premium for your solving the problems.
If we want to see a prosperous continent, we must build systems that match education with opportunity, theory with practice, and ambition with results. If you found this video insightful, please hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Let's keep the conversation going. And please share your experiences in the comment section. What do you think is the biggest reason for graduate unemployment in Africa?